Race is finished. My watch says I have a manual coffee grinder which works really well, but it takes like 2 minutes to grind the coffee. Alright, this is a lot of work, but it actually makes you feel like you've properly earned the coffee. Put in some work. So the race starts at 1 o'clock. So yeah, I'm mainly trying to, I don't know, sort of distract myself because I do have the pre-race jitters. When you get this close to a race, you kind of don't really feel like doing anything else, and it would kind of just, at least I would kind of just want to be transformed to the start line. I wouldn't say I'm really nervous for the race. I mean, I like racing for the most part, but waiting for the race can be a bit stressful. There we go. Coffee is on the way. So right now I'm actually gonna talk you quickly through my goals for the race. Get ready with me, guys. Then I will be heading to the race course to warm up. I got my coffee. I'm gonna talk you through my goals for today, what I do on race day, the warm up, and so on. Then I'm just gonna get dressed, I think. I have two main goals. Number one is a PR, which means 35:41 or faster. That would be around 3:34 pace, I believe. But I actually think I can go a lot faster than that, and I'm planning to go under 35 minutes. That's the main goal. So that would mean 3:30 or faster pace. Then on a good day, I believe I could go for somewhere between 34:45 and 34:30. But actually my plan for the race and what my coach advised is to go out at 35-minute pace and then just race the second half. It's actually funny to think about that my last 10K was only about 3.5 months ago, and I ran 37:16, and now I'm planning to go sub 35 minutes. One thing I'm trying to keep in mind is that just running a PR would be fantastic. Actually, about a month ago, I hadn't gotten a single PR in over 3 years. I've made a video about that. You can watch that somewhere if you want. Now that I have gotten a PR in 5K, it's so easy to become greedy and just think, oh, I definitely need to run this time for this to be a success. So on race day, I normally try to get to the race course pretty early, so I will have time to get my bag stored somewhere, go to the bathroom, and then normally I like to start warming up around 40 minutes before the race starts. I do 15 minutes easy, normally in soft shoes, and then I change to my racing shoes because it just gives me like an extra boost of confidence, feeling the difference and feeling how fast I can run in them. But then in the racing shoes I will do around 3 strides, and then I like to do 2 to 3 minutes around lactate threshold, maybe a bit faster. Today I will probably try to run those 2-3 minutes around race pace, just so I don't go out too fast. Because if I run just for a couple of minutes at the pace I'm planning to go out at, I'll get a feeling for that, and it'll be less likely that I go out too hard in the beginning. Now, one thing I always try to do before a race is just think through the race and basically just expect the pain. So that sort of mental preparation is just about expecting the super high effort and just knowing that it's a totally normal part of the process. Because when you start to struggle around, let's say, 5 kilometers, and even at like the 7-kilometer mark is so insanely difficult, it's easy to think, oh, something is wrong. I went out too hard. I can't maintain this. But when those thoughts arise, you just have to remind yourself, no, this is 100% a part of the plan, a part of the process. If it wasn't like this, you're not doing it correctly. Maybe think of some mantra to repeat in my head while running. Sometimes I think of the mantra before, but often it just comes to me during the race. It's normally something that fits with my rhythm of breathing. So it might be something easy as just keep going, or something like that. I'm rambling so much. Good luck to future me editing this.
Alright, now I'm gonna get dressed and see if I can do a super cool transition. And this is a pretty skimpy dress for 7-8 degrees, so maybe we'll do as well, and maybe even, and if it's super cold and sunny, we'll do. So that's the kit. Right now, I don't know what to do. I'll probably be heading out there in about 30 minutes. So yeah, just pee for the third or fourth time and pack my stuff. See you there. And we are off. I actually decided to start quite far back because I didn't want to get caught in the crowd and I knew everyone would be going way too fast in the beginning. This is me running past my girlfriend for the first time. I actually didn't see her. And here I come for the second time and I give a smile to the camera. That was one of my goals for the races, to smile at least once. Now this is me before the last loop, and at this point I am really feeling it. I felt it started to get quite hard at around 7 kilometers. And this is me just sprinting to the finish and stopping my watch. Let's see how I react. Alright, this is Wednesday after the race. I'm going to do a quick race recap, tell you my splits, how I felt throughout the race, and what my next goals are. First of all, this was a super fun race. I've never raced in such a competitive environment. This was the Danish Championships in the 10 kilometers. I'm not a Dane, so I wasn't technically competing in the Danish Championships. I was in the open category, but we were all running together. The run was actually split up into 2 heats. So the first heat was everyone that ran, I think, slower than 36:30. And I was in the second heat, so everyone who was there was running 36:30 or faster. We ran a loop 3 times, and my girlfriend was actually quite worried that I was not having a good day when she saw the amount of runners that were coming in the first loop before me. Not that I'm a super elite runner, but she was thinking, why are there so many people ahead of Dade? But that was totally normal. It was just a very stacked field, and it was fun for me to be running among so many great runners. Now, for this race, I actually turned off the auto lap feature in my watch, and I was doing manual laps each time I ran past the kilometer signs. My plan was to go out at 35-minute pace, which is 3:30 per kilometer, or whatever, per mile. And then for the second half of the race, I just wanted to see what I had left, race the people around me, and so on. And the first few kilometers, I actually felt great. The splits were 3:28, 3:27, 3:23. That was the first 3 kilometers. And at this point, I definitely felt like I had more in the tank, but I had already told myself, don't go out too hard, even though you feel good. If I'm anywhere near 35 minutes, it will still be a big PR for me. So even though I knew I could go faster, I decided to just try to hover around that 3:30 per kilometer mark for the first 5 kilometers. So next 2 kilometers, number 4 and 5, were 3:30 and 3:28. So the first 5K I ran in 17:26. And at that point, I decided to imagine myself staying in that pace and then just trying to create a gap between this imagined me running at 3:30 pace and the me who was running faster. So I was trying to create a gap between them and also just trying to slowly overtake the runners ahead of me. So the splits for the second half were 3:29, 3:24, 3:30, 3:27, and the last one was 3:17. There's actually a slight hill on this 3-loop course which goes up and down, so that's why these splits are so inconsistent. I was trying to keep the effort the same, just really flowing on that downhill, and that's why the last split is 3:17, which is like 10 seconds faster than the average. So final time 34:35, which is a 67-second PR for me, and my last 10K PR was set in November 2020. So I am super happy about this. It's Wednesday now, and I'm still sort of trying to take it in. This is something I try to do after a good race because it's so easy to just get caught up in the next goal. I give myself a few days to like think to myself, yeah, that was a really fucking good job. So congratulations. I think this is actually an important skill to have. When things go right, you have to be able to enjoy them. Otherwise, you're just like constantly whipping yourself to try to get the next goal. And for what, if you're not enjoying it? After the race, I had a hot dog and a beer. I didn't do any cool down. I actually pretty much never do cool downs after races. But I did go to the sauna and cold tub, which was really nice. After races, I like to mentally take a break for a few days. It just means I'm not thinking that much about nutrition, my sleep schedule, foam rolling, and all that extra stuff. I mean, my life is pretty regimented, so me not thinking about those things is not the chaos you would imagine. I just try to make sure that I'm still super motivated and hungry, and already now I am looking forward to my next workout. I just think it's useful after a big race to just take your foot off the gas ever so slightly to make sure you still want to train, you still want to improve and all that. So that's what I've done. And my next race is the Aarhus City Half Marathon. Aarhus is where I live, and this is the third time I've ran this race. Last two times, I think I ran around 128 in 2022. I ran just under 120 last year, and this year I'm definitely going to improve on that time. I think I can run somewhere around 1:16:30, maybe under 1:16 on a good day. That's my guess, just based on my recent performances. But I also have around 8 weeks to train until that race. So a perfect day would be under 1:16 for me. And right now, the focus is just staying injury-free, staying consistent. Honestly, I don't think that much about time goals right now because I know that if I stay injury-free and I can run high volume, for me, I will improve. So I'm very focused on the process right now. I know the results will follow. That's it. This might have been a long video. I'll see how long it turns out to be after I edit. If you want more of my stuff, you can subscribe here, follow me on Instagram, and subscribe to my email newsletter that I send out every week to around 3,000 people. It is training tips, fun insights into training, and pretty much whatever I'm thinking about. I try to keep them fun, something that you look forward to seeing in your inbox. As I said, it's once a week, 2 to 3 minute read. Occasionally, you will get announcements if I have some coaching spots, programs, or something like that. But mainly it's just a fun email once a week that you get from me. Thank you for watching. See you in the next one.